the crawl. The importance of the crawl is for playing in tune in your hand position and your hand frame. So what I want you to do is remember that your movement across the violin is straight across but a curved surface. So the bridge is curved. You have to move straight across. The way we do that is not only if you see my arm rotating, but we also keep that straight wrist and straight arm in alignment. If we start to squeeze when we go to the E string, then we're going to be out of tune because now the tension has made our finger go too high. Sometimes it makes us go lower, but nonetheless, the idea of the crawl is to keep the hand in the same shape as you move a finger across the string. So we're going to start with the G string, and we're going to do a pattern of open, 1, rock to D, open, 1, rock to A, open, 1, and then rock to E, open, 1. When we end up there, we're going to start with the first finger staying down. And we'll do 1, open, set your 1 on the next string, rock your bow. 1, open, set your finger on the following string, rock your bow. 1, open, set your finger on the final string, G string, and 1, open. During that time, if you saw how my finger was moving, I'm relaxed enough so that my elbow is helping me, and the square of my finger is not changing shape. So I'm going to play it for you now, and I want you to think about or listen for the sound and then play it back with this video. The second part of the crawl is working with the first finger and the second finger. The principles are the same. We want the straight hand. We want the square of the finger to be the same as we move across. Now what we're going to do, because it's called a crawl, is we're going to actually put the first finger down and start with that note. Put the second finger down. While that second finger is down, we have to be loose enough to lift the first and move it over to the next string in the square, keeping the square the same. Then we lift our second finger and place it on that string that your first finger went to. Then as your second finger's down, your first finger will lift and crawl to the next string, and then your second finger will lift and crawl to the next string, and so on. So you can see that the fingers are crawling across. That's why we call it the crawl. All right, and then when you get to the top, you start with the second finger. You lift, play 1, cross over, crawl that second finger. As you crawl that second finger, your first finger will pop up and crawl over to the next string. Same thing, you will pop and crawl, pop and crawl, pop and crawl, pop and crawl. And this is how it sounds and looks. So I start with low for the first finger A on the G string. Repeat G sharp. Crawl, crawl, lift, crawl, lift. The next step of the crawl is using your second and third fingers. All these crawls can be done in different keys, with fingers touching or fingers not touching. And then we would also use different patterns. So you might skip a finger, or you might change different patterns in that sense. So this one, however, is second and third finger. So again, I'm going to use a B natural on the G string, so a high 2. And I'm going to place my second finger on the string, and then when I plop my third finger, I'm going to pop my second finger and crawl over to the next string. So it looks like that. Then I pop and crawl, pop and crawl, pop and crawl, pop and crawl. Then repeating the top note, pop, crawl, pop, crawl, pop, crawl, pop, crawl. So I'll play that one for you. This is B to C sharp, and notice again the straight hand and the elbow movement. The final crawl for adjacent fingers, or fingers together, is the third and fourth finger. So in this case, we're going to use that C sharp, the high 3, and we're going to do a half step, which means that our fourth finger is now going to come in a square. You can see the square, have a tunnel underneath. Right next, the tips are going to touch. So you need to make sure that you're aiming the tip of your pinky to touch the string. You'll adjust if it's not ringing. The fourth finger note always rings, pretty much. And so I want you to listen, of course, and adjust. But our main goal is to be tip to tip. And we're going to have that. So third finger goes down, fourth finger goes down, third pops up, moves over, comes down, pops up, moves over, pops up, moves over, pops, pops, and places. We repeat the top note, and then we lift and crawl. Lift, crawl, lift, crawl, lift, crawl, lift, crawl, lift, crawl. Again, you're looking for that straight arm, pretty straight, a little bit of a curve because of human body, and then the elbow motion. So making sure that you're nice and stable across your shoulders, not popping up. All right, and now I'm going to play it for you, starting on the C sharp or third finger, high 3.